I have found that making my own exercise video has helped me do my exercises. And I've been doing my facelift exercises, my waist exercises, and my aerobics. However, I want to add a little extra exercise to help with weight maintenance. So I've added an extra video to extend the aerobics to about an hour. At One True Media, they only let me do 1 hour long videos, so I have to make an extra video to do this. If you go to my website to exercise, start off with the video that I entitled 1-Gail's Total Workout Extended. Then, without stopping, start the video entitled 2-Workout Video. If you're new to exercise, you need to work up to the 2 workout video. If you can't talk while exercising, you need to stop. The link to my website and the exercise videos will be below this video. I exercise for several reasons. First, for my health, because the yeast are escaping to my joints, and I feel that if I exercise and get my blood circulating, that the Seroquel will be better able to reach my joints and purge the yeast from the joints. I'm also trying to beat the clock and look younger than my age of 55. Jesus is helping me with this, I can tell. He's rewarding me for putting him first and turning Brent down in the early 1990s. That was when I was in my 30s, when I wanted to be with him more than just about anything. But as a married woman, I did not want to disgrace my Lord by going to Brent in what I felt would appear to be an adulterous relationship at that time. Lori McBride and I are so opposite. She forced herself on Brent Spiner when he didn't want her, and he wanted me, and I turned him down to honor my Lord. You know, it wasn't until 2006 that Brent and I consummated our relationship in any way, and that thus far has only been brain to brain. Jesus has told me that in the millennium that the men on my marriage list will no longer need their sex dummies. He will sanction me having sex with all of them in the millennium. In fact, I believe right now that one of the men on my marriage list, Terrance Jenkins, is having oral sex with Rule 13 on a regular basis to save her life. Because Zach Knight, it appears, is trying to kill her by giving her an overwhelming orgasm so powerful that it could kill her. Zach did this to her when she thought that Jesus Christ was making love to her bukkake style. It appears that he's angry at her for being willing to make love to his enemy, Jesus Christ, even though it wasn't Jesus making love to her. I was so scared for her that I actually participated in group brain-to-brain sex with her and Terrance and all the men on my marriage list, and we all made love to her in a group to keep her alive. We were trying to deflect her sexual energy away from Zach and towards us because we're safer than Zach. He's a killer. We discovered that the only way we could defeat Zach in his attempts to kill Rule 13 was to allow her to have oral sex with Terrance, even to the point where she received his semen. What's ironic is that about a month ago, or almost 2 months ago, Jesus told Terrance this. He says, "I have a piece of wisdom that you'll need in the near future, Terrance. You won't understand this, but you will later. Go for it and do it hard." Terrance figured it out when we started talking about Rule 13 on Skype, and she showed up in the middle of our conversation. We just both felt so bad for her because she was crying her eyes out and getting depressed about Zach Knight, who doesn't believe in falling in love. It's against the Jesuit rules to fall in love. He'll give Rule 13 sex, but considers it like a sin to love her. She's really attached to Zach Knight. Both Terrance and I felt so bad for her because she was crying herself into depression. I suggested that perhaps Jesus could make love to her in his own style, and then she showed up. I thought, maybe Jesus could commune with her spirit to spirit like he does with me sometimes. He doesn't do it very often because he doesn't want to risk me confusing him with Zach Knight. I told Rule 13 that Jesus loves her so much more than Zach Knight does. And right as we were talking, she said, "Oh, Jesus is making love to me, bukkake style." I wasn't sure what to make of this until she started getting a really strong orgasm that was about to kill her. I said, "No, that's not Jesus. That's Zach Knight. We got to stop Zach. Terrance, he's trying to kill Rule 13. she got such an overwhelming orgasm that she was making all the guys at Church of Gail have an erection. And the erection was so severe, she almost exploded their penises. That's her trademark. Terrance felt that the only way to remedy the situation, which was becoming an emergency, and we had to stop Zach because he had somehow taken over Rule 13 and caused her caused her penis exploding capacity to get out of her control. So we had to get sexually involved with Rule 13 to stop Zach. So Terrance and I started making group love to her, and I encouraged all the men at Church of Gail to do the same thing so we could deflect her sexual energies away from Zach. That helped a little, but her orgasm with Zach was so overwhelming, it was about to kill her, and nothing we were doing was diminishing it enough to save her life. Terrance asked me if it would be okay to make sex with her. I said, not vaginal. Jesus would not want that, but oral should be okay. Oral sex to save her life, Jesus would respect. So Terrance started oral sex until he climaxed into her mouth, and that worked. She needed the semen, apparently, to counter Zach Knight, who had connected with her telepathically and was trying to give her such a strong orgasm that she would die. So this is what Jesus meant when he told Terrance to go for it and do it hard. Terrance said, we figured it out, Gail. I said, yeah, that's what he meant. You know, I have made extra love to Terrance over the past couple weeks while he does his oral sex with Rule 13, because I just want to reassure him that I understand and respect that he's trying to save her life. And he said he's not having vaginal sex because he thinks that would be going too far. But he's willing to do the oral whenever Zach tries to make love with her so that we can overcome his ability to kill her with an orgasm so strong that it would kill her. So I have no problems with him having oral sex with Rule 13 to save her life. And Terrance, one time, the first time he did it, he said, Gail, she's using her fingers in her vaginal area. Should I stop her? I said, no, women need stimulation there for sexual satisfaction. Leave her alone. I'd much rather she do what she needs to stay alive and to get her sexual needs met in a way that she won't die. So as you can see, Jesus is not a prude. He approves of Terrance having oral sex with Rule 13 to save her life. After Jesus gave us the advice about, to Terrance to go for it and do it hard, he then told me that I rocked. He says that about me a lot. Rule 13 will be a main character in the book that I'm working on right now. And Jesus has given me a lot of insights about her. And this book I'm working on should be pretty great when it comes out. Now, Jesus is helping me. I've been working on my book and reading the novel Exodus by Leon Uris, studying Leon Uris's technique to make my next book really great. I really admire how he uses nonfiction in his novel Exodus. He's got a lot of nonfiction in there. That's one reason I'm studying him, because my novel is going to be nonfiction. I'm just going to change the names, like Brent Spiner's name is going to change, and I'm going to change Vladimir Putin's name. And the novel Exodus, Leon Uris makes history come alive. And basically my book is going to be like a history, like what Leon Uris did with Exodus. The novel Exodus is so much better than the movie. I have been so moved by my experience of reading the novel Exodus. This is my second time reading it. The first time I read it, I was 19 years old. And this second time, I just couldn't put the book down. And I've been studying Exodus to study writing technique for my current book, that I got so moved reading the novel again that I wrote some reviews on both the book and the movie for Exodus at Amazon.com. And you can see them if you go to Amazon.com and you click onto the Bantam Exodus paperback and look under reviews. I'll be there as Gabriel Chana reviewing it. I also reviewed the Exodus DVD because I've seen the movie at Amazon. The movie Exodus falls flat. And I have to admit, after reading the book, I do not like the movie, except for its awesome music score and the awesome Exodus song.